Okay, so are you ready to dive into this world where time kind of stretches and bends,
Yeah.
and where memories are like whispers, and also where a deal with the devil could actually be the key to like an extraordinary life?
Oh, absolutely. I'm ready.
Awesome. So we're going to be exploring the invisible life of Addie LaRue. Have you heard of this?
Oh, yes. Yes, I have.
You're going to love it. It's by V.E. Schwab.
V. Schwab is amazing.
Yes, and this book, it's just so captivating. Blends historical fiction with fantasy, romance, and even like philosophy. It makes you think.
Definitely. Yeah, and I think it just makes you look at the world a little differently after reading it.
Exactly. And that's what I love about Schwab's work. So we're going to be meeting Addie LaRue. She is a young woman in 18th century France
Mm.
who wants freedom more than anything. So she makes a deal, a Faustian bargain,
Oh, wow.
with a shadowy entity.
So kind of like a deal with the devil.
Exactly. But with a twist.
Oh, okay. I'm intrigued.
It's not your typical I wish for immortality kind of thing. Addie, she gets her wish. But the price she pays is that no one remembers her.
Whoa.
Yeah, like the moment someone looks away, she vanishes from their memory.
So it's like she doesn't exist.
It's almost like being a ghost in your own life.
Right.
No photographs, no letters. There's no trace of her.
Oh, wow. I can't imagine living like that. So what happens? How does she navigate the world?
Talk about a life on the margins. It's a profound exploration of what it means to be truly alone.
Yeah.
She witnesses centuries unfold, you know, the French Revolution, empires rising, modern art being born. She experiences all of it. But she's always an outsider.
That's got to be so lonely.
Oh, it is. Unable to form lasting connections. And there's this one detail in the book, it gave me chills. Because of the curse, she could steal anything.
What?
Yeah, because no one remembers her being there. So there's never any evidence.
That's wild. So it's like a weird freedom?
It is. A strange freedom born out of being utterly forgotten. It makes you question what freedom really is.
Yeah, for sure. Is it really liberating to live without any consequences? Without leaving a trace?
Big questions. And Schwab explores them with such depth. But you know what? Addie, she finds a way to make her mark. It's subtle, though.
Oh, how does she do that?
She turns to art. She can't leave a lasting impression on people directly, but she can inspire artists, writers, musicians. Her influence is there.
That's amazing. It's like she's a hidden muse.
Exactly, like a whisper in the wind, that sparks creativity. It makes you wonder, right? How many forgotten muses might be behind some of the world's greatest works?
It's a thought, isn't it? What if some of our favorite paintings or songs or books were inspired by somebody like Addie, someone history just completely forgot?
Goosebumps. And then centuries later, she meets Henry. He's a young man in modern-day New York City, and get this, he remembers her.
Whoa, what? How is that possible?
Right. That's where the story takes this captivating turn. Why is Henry different? What makes him immune to her curse? Schwab, she masterfully builds this suspense, hinting at a connection between them. A shared secret, maybe. Even maybe another deal with that mysterious entity.
There's more deals involved. This is getting good. I'm hooked already.
I know, right?
Ah.
And we learned that Henry, he made a deal too. He yearned to be loved, to be enough for everyone.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, and so he makes a bargain to get that. But is it really a gift if it's not freely given? That's the question.
Right. Like, is that really love? That's a good point.
It's complex.
Yeah.
And the book delves into that. What does it truly mean to be loved, to belong? Is it about being adored by everyone, or is it about the deep, genuine connections?
Those are great questions.
And the way Schwab weaves these two narratives together. Addie's journey through the centuries and Henry's struggle in the present.
Wow.
Brilliant. You start to see the parallels, the echoes of desire, loneliness.
Yeah, I can see that. Even though their experiences are so different, they're both searching for something.
Exactly. It's like two sides of the same coin, both seeking connection, both grappling with the consequences of their choices, and their stories intertwine in ways you just wouldn't expect.
I can't wait to see how it unfolds. You're not going to give anything away, are you?
I won't,
Yeah.
but trust me, the twists and turns are going to keep you on the edge of your seat. It's so good.
And it's so interesting how their relationship kind of, evolves. Addie, she spent centuries just yearning for someone to remember her, and now she meets Henry.
Yeah.
And she finds herself drawn to him, not just because, well, obviously he remembers her, but because he really sees her.
He gets her.
He understands her in a way that nobody else ever has.
It's almost like Henry's deal, that yearning to be loved makes him like hyper aware of Addie. Like his love for her is just magnified. But it's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because Everyone else in Henry's life is slowly forgetting him. His
Yeah.
own family, his friends. They're losing their memories of him, like piece by piece.
Oh, that is heartbreaking. That's the sad reality of his curse, right? Surrounded by love, but it's slipping away, like sand through his fingers. And for Addie, it's just this constant reminder of her own isolation, the pain of being forgotten.
It's like they're both caught in this cycle of loss, but in completely different ways. It makes you think about how we experience love and grief. Can you truly, like, cherish a connection knowing that it's temporary?
That is a really good question, and Schwab doesn't shy away from those tough questions at all. There's this one scene, it takes place in this like dimly lit underground club. It's called the Fourth Rail.
Oh, I love that
The
club.
music is so loud it like drowns out everything else, and it's the only place where Addie's curse seems to like loosen its grip, you know?
Like this little bubble of freedom for them,
Exactly.
just lost in the music, surrounded by strangers who won't remember them anyway.
Yeah, it's like a powerful metaphor for the spaces that we carve out for ourselves, even within, difficult situations. It highlights how music, art, these shared experiences can offer us this fleeting sense of connection. It's like it transcends memory.
But those moments, those little bubbles, they can't last forever.
Mhm.
The book, it keeps hinting at this, this growing darkness, this sense of urgency as Henry's deal starts to unravel. He's literally fading away, losing his memories, passions, even his sense of self.
It's like watching somebody disappear right in front of you. It's really sad.
Yeah.
And it really makes you think about what makes us who we are. Is it our memories? Is it the experiences we have? Is it our connection to other people? And what happens when we start to lose those things?
It's almost like Henry's curse is like this twisted reflection of Addie's, right?
Yes.
She's forgotten by others, but he is slowly forgetting himself.
Exactly. It creates this really, really fascinating dynamic between the two of them.
Yeah.
Addie has spent centuries wanting to be remembered, but now she finds herself desperately trying to preserve Henry's memories.
Hold on to who he is.
Yeah, as he's fading away. And then there's Luch,
Oh, Luke.
the mysterious entity that Addie made the deal with. He keeps appearing throughout the story, like he's watching them, playing with them almost.
Like a cat with a mouse.
Yes. What's fascinating about Luch is that he's not your typical villain. He's charming. He's witty. I mean, he can even be seductive at times.
Yeah, but creepy.
But there is this chilling undercurrent to every single thing that he does. Like, he's always got a hidden agenda. Something else is going on.
And he's totally obsessed with Addie. He keeps offering her these ways to break her curse, but they always come with a price. It's like he's trying to tempt her,
Yeah.
see what she's willing to sacrifice, how far she'll go.
Yeah, he wants her to choose him, surrender to his power. But Addie, even after centuries of this loneliness, she never loses sight of her own will, her own agency. She always finds a way to defy him, to leave her own mark on the world, even if it's subtle.
It's like she's whispering her story into existence, even if no one knows it's her voice.
Yes, and that's where I think the book begins to explore these themes of legacy and memory so powerfully. It challenges our idea of what it means to be remembered. Is it about monuments and having your name in history books? Or is it about the impact that you have on others?
The ripples.
Yeah, the ripples, the ideas that you spark, the beauty that you inspire, even if those contributions are never attributed to you.
It makes you think about your own life, doesn't it?
It really does.
What kind of mark do you want to leave on the world? Does it have to be big and flashy, or can it be something quieter, something that's felt but not necessarily seen?
And as Henry's time starts running out, Addie has to make this really impossible choice. Should she try to save him, even if it means like surrendering to Luke, becoming his forever? Or should she let him go, knowing that it will mean losing him, but preserving the memories, the stories that he's written about her?
It's a heartbreaking dilemma. She spent centuries yearning for connection, and now she's finally found it. And it's slipping away. It just feels so impossible.
Yeah.
How do you even choose between your own freedom and the person you love?
Yeah.
Especially when that love is so tied up in being seen, and remembered.
Exactly. And it really just cuts to the core of everything that Addie wants, For centuries, she just wanted someone to remember her, to see her, and now she finally has that with Henry. But the cost, I mean, it's huge. It makes her really think about what really matters, what she's willing to give up.
Yeah, and to make things even more difficult, Henry, knowing his time is running out, he tells Addie to let him go.
He does.
He doesn't want her to sacrifice her freedom to save him.
Yeah.
Which is such a selfless act of love, don't you think?
It really is. He understands that her curse, the invisibility, it's a part of her strength. It's her way of being in the world. He doesn't want to trap her in a fading existence.
But Addie being Addie, she's not going to just sit back and watch him fade away. She's a fighter, she's always been a survivor, and she comes up with this really daring plan. It's a huge gamble. It could save Henry, or it could cost Addie everything.
Oh, wow. I can only imagine. I bet that was so intense to read. Schwab does such a great job of building tension in those last chapters. I bet you were just racing to the end.
Oh, absolutely. You have no idea what's going to happen, but I won't spoil anything.
Okay, good.
I will say that the ending is so unexpected
Mm.
and so powerful. It just brings all of the themes of the book together,
Yeah.
Memory, identity, love, sacrifice, the power of art. Just makes you think. You close that book and you just sit there for a minute, letting it all sink in.
I love those kinds of endings. It's like, an ending that just stays with you
It does. It really does.
long after you've actually, finished the book.
Yeah.
Makes you think about all the choices that we make, the sacrifices that we're willing to make for love, and just that lasting power of stories to keep our memories alive, even when those memories are fading.
The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. It's a reminder that our lives, no matter how fleeting or how forgotten we think we are, they have the power to touch other people, to leave a mark on the world, even if it's just a whisper,
Yeah.
a memory, a spark of inspiration.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder about, all those little whispers that are in our own lives,
Yeah.
all those stories that we've heard, the art that's moved us without ever knowing, the hand that created it, the source of it all.
Makes you look at the world a little differently.
Yeah.
So to anyone listening, if you're looking for a book that's going to stay with you, a story that's going to make you think and feel and question everything you thought you knew about life and love and memory, I highly recommend The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
I second that.
You will not regret it. And for those of you who read it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What resonated with you? What questions did it raise for you? Let's keep talking about this book. It's just so good.
Yeah, it's always so interesting to hear how other people experience the same story.
It really is. Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. But as we've seen, some stories, they stick with us. Their whispers keep echoing long after we've finished the book.
Until next time, everyone, keep exploring those hidden stories, the forgotten voices, and keep turning those pages.
Happy reading, everyone.